Hello, welcome back to the Muscle Preservation Podcast. I'm your host, Marianne. I'm a strength coach, the owner of Peak Mind and Muscle, and today we're going to talk about something that quietly shapes how our bodies age, and that's sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function over time as we age. It's often not dramatic and doesn't show up overnight, but that's kind of what makes it scary. And it really pretty often goes unnoticed until it's too late, especially in people who are actively trying to lose weight. If you care about staying strong, capable, and independent as you get older, this topic should matter to you. Not in a scary way, but in a really practical way. Today, I want to explain what sarcopenia actually is, how and when it starts, why common fitness and dieting habits can actually speed it up, and what is going to help prevent it. This isn't about extremes, it never is. It's about understanding what your body needs so you can make better decisions long term. Sarcopenia is defined as age-related loss of skeletal mass and strength, but that definition doesn't fully capture what's happening. Muscle isn't just tissue that makes you look toned. It's not. It plays a role in blood sugar regulation, joint stability, bone health, balance and coordination, and metabolic rate. As muscle declines, those symptoms are really poorly affected as well. Most research shows that muscle loss begins gradually in adulthood, often in your 30s, and accelerates with inactivity, undereating, illness, and hormonal changes. The key word here is gradual. People don't wake up one day weak. They slowly lose capacity over years, and often while body weight stays the same or even decreases. That's why sarcopenia is easy to miss if weight is the only thing being tracked. Now, the scale tells you how much you weigh. It doesn't tell you what you're made of. You can lose weight by losing fat, muscle, water, or a combination of all three of those. From a health standpoint, those outcomes are very, very different. When muscle loss accompanies weight loss, people often notice reduced strength, lower energy, slower metabolism, less resilience to stress and illness. But none of that will ever be shown on a BMI chart. This is why someone can technically weigh less and still feel worse. Muscle loss doesn't just say, hey, I'm here, look at me. Most muscle loss isn't intentional. It's usually a byproduct of well-meaning habits. Long-term calorie restriction, extended periods of low-calorie intake, especially without sufficient protein, signal the body to conserve your energy. Muscle tissue is metabolically expensive, so the body adapts by reducing it. Low protein intake. Protein provides the building blocks for muscle repair and maintenance. If intake is consistently low, muscle loss is more likely even in people who exercise. And lastly, cardio-dominant training. Cardio has clear cardiovascular benefits, but it does not strongly signal muscle retention. Without resistance training, muscle has little reason to stay. There's nothing telling it to stay on your body. Avoiding progressive resistance is also a problem. Muscle adapts to demand. If training never becomes more challenging, same reps, same weight, same effort, muscle maintenance becomes harder over time. Your hormonal transitions during perimenopause and menopause also affect this. Changes in estrogen affect muscle protein synthesis. This doesn't mean muscle loss is completely inevitable, but it does mean that training and nutrition definitely matter more. So, how do GLP-1 medications factor into this? GLP-1 medications reduce your appetite and help many, many people lose weight. When weight loss happens quickly, though, lean mass can be lost right alongside that fat, especially if protein intake drops and resistance training isn't a priority throughout the process. This isn't unique to GLP-1s. It happens with any rapid or significant calorie reduction. The medication itself isn't the issue. It's not causing muscle loss. It's the strategy around it or the lack of. Muscle preservation during weight loss requires adequate protein, consistent resistance, training, sufficient recovery. When those pieces are in place, muscle loss can be significantly reduced. Sarcopenia isn't just about appearance either. Lower muscle mass is associated with increased insulin resistance. You're going to have a higher fall risk as you age, reduced bone density leading to other huge problems, loss of functional independence, getting up out of your own chair. Muscle supports movement, stability, and metabolic health. Strength allows people to get up off the floor, carry your groceries into the house, travel comfortably, recover faster from illness or injury. These are quality of life factors. If you want to be a person who's traveling well into their 60s, 70s, and 80s, sarcopenia matters to you. Preventing sarcopenia doesn't require extreme training. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to get this right. It just requires consistency and intention. First, you need resistance training, 2 to 4 sessions a week focused on compound movements, progressively increasing load or effort over time. Next, you need adequate protein intake, especially during fat loss stages. Protein supports muscle repair and signals the body to retain less mass. And then you need periods of maintenance. Chronic dieting increases muscle loss risk. Maintenance phases allow recovery and preservation of that muscle. You need to be measuring your performance, not just your weight. Strength progression, endurance, body composition provide better feedback than scale weight alone. Listen, sarcopenia isn't something to fear. It's something to understand. Muscle responds to how you live, how you eat, how you train, how you recover. You don't need to chase extremes in your physique or your protein intake or your fitness. You don't need to train endlessly. You do need to give your body a reason to stay strong. If this episode helped you clarify how muscle fits into long-term health, feel free to share it with someone who's navigating weight loss or fitness changes. And if you want support building a plan that protects muscle while still supporting fat loss, you can find more details in the show notes. As always, we're going to do it right, we're going to do it once, and we're going to keep it off forever.